searching, your love was never far. You made a way.
Hi everyone, my name is Priscilla and you're welcome back to the Safe for Me show. So today on this episode, I want to talk about my honeymoon experience with God. And I'm sure a whole lot of you will be wondering that what is this honeymoon about? But I term it to be my honeymoon experience with God because it was one of the most intimate moments that I've ever experienced with God. So this actually happened last year, the beginning of last year. So in my church, every beginning of the year we always have the 21 days fasting and prayers, and the time that we had it, I was actually in Accra, but when I came back to Takrady, it was left about a week for them to end the fasting, but I took part in it anyways, and after the fasting, and this was in February, we finished the fasting in February, so a week after we went to church for the normal midweek service, evening service, and that night the pastor preached about what to expect after fasting and praying. And I think it was a great topic, because a whole lot of people don't really know what to expect or what to even do after fasting and praying, especially after 21 days, And whilst he was preaching, he talked about so many things, and what actually caught my attention was the fact that when he spoke about when Moses spent 40 days and 40 nights on a mountain and twice in his life, I've read that passage so many times. I've heard that story from different preachers, and all that. But I don't know what happened that night. I actually began to think deeply about it. I was like, so 40 days on a mountain with God, although I know it was going to be a great experience, but I was like, what was Moses doing the whole time from day 1 up to day 40? Was he praying to God all the time? Was he talking to God all the time? Did he sleep at some point? Wasn't it kind of like boring a bit? Because the pastor also made mention of the fact that those times there wasn't any phones, there wasn't any gadgets and everything, and it was just Moses and God, And I thought about this so much, and I heard the Holy Spirit tell me, Priscilla, why don't you try it and do it without your phone? And I'm like, am I really hearing this right? I actually brushed it off because I thought that it was my mind playing tricks on me. Sometimes you think about something so much and your mind also replies to you in a certain way. So I just brushed it off and we ended the service. But when we closed and I went home, I felt the Holy Spirit tell me the same thing again, and I was like, no, maybe it's still my mind, so I'll just wait it out and see. And this happened continuously for 3 weeks. Can you imagine? So in the third week, I was like, God, I've had it, I'm just gonna do it, But I was wondering, I kept asking myself so many questions, like, what am I gonna do? Because a whole lot of people tell me they are going on waiting, they're going to wait on God, they're going to spend like some weeks, some days and everything, they leave the house and go to a secluded place just to spend time with God. And I always keep wondering that what do they actually do, because prior to that time I have never actually tried that before, and I was like, what am I gonna do, because now I don't know what I should even pray about. Do they just have prayer topics that they send? So day 1 they pray about this, day 2, I was actually confused about so many things, and I didn't even bother asking anybody. So I went to my parents, and that was on a Friday night. I went to them in their room and I told them that, Daddy, please, I would want to leave the house and then have a waiting on God, or just spend some time with God, alone somewhere. The first question my daddy asked me was that, what is the purpose of it? Because he was shocked, because this is something I have never done, But I told them that it's something I feel I should really do. But they were happy, and they were just excited that I will do such a thing, just recognize God and then just try and spend some time with God. And my mom also agreed. So I wanted to leave on a Saturday, the following day, because although I was confused about it, I was also at the same time so much excited about it. I just couldn't wait, So my dad said I couldn't leave that weekend because we were supposed to have some meetings in church, and I have to be there, So Sunday evening, I started packing my things, and I was still happy. I was excited about packing my things and everything, because I was going to have that waiting period outside Takrady. So I was going to do it in Accra, because our house in Accra is really like quiet, and the community is quiet, and you know, it was the best place I could think of, you know. So whilst I was packing, my mom came to me and she was like, you know, when you're with some girl like this, you need to have some prayer topics. You need to pray about this and that. I should pray about my marriage. I should pray about my job, because at that time I had still not got a job, you know. And I was like, okay, mom, I'm gonna do that, you know. But in my mind, I'm like, nah, I don't know. I'm still confused. Like, I still don't know what I'm gonna do there. You know, I still don't know, because I couldn't think of anything, you know. And because I didn't want her to ask me further questions, you know, I told her that I'm just gonna do it after packing. So right after packing and all, I went on our family page on WhatsApp and I told my siblings about what I'm gonna do, and I told them not to tell anybody, you know, because I didn't want any form of distraction. I didn't want anybody to know whatever I was gonna do, you know. And it's actually my first time, and I actually told them that I'm gonna do it without my phone, so that means they're not gonna reach me. They wouldn't be able to contact me in any way, you know. So I told them and they understood. And also Monday morning I left Accra and I went to Accra. I go to Accra in the afternoon, and still that time I still didn't know what was gonna happen during that time, because it was going to be a week, you know. So I was going to start on Tuesday and end the following Tuesday. So I started unpacking and all that, and all of a sudden I felt led to download some preaching videos, you know, from Benny Hinn about intimacy, and some videos from Jensen Franklin and Priscilla Shira. And I also downloaded some Christian movies I haven't even watched before, but then I was on the internet and then I felt led by the Holy Spirit. Like, I see this Christian movie and he's like, just click it, just download it. So I kept on downloading it, and please, Insha, forgive me, you know, because after downloading it, I actually finished the data that my brother had bought, you know, but he forgave me after. So Francis, I'm sorry. After downloading everything, in the evening, my mom called me and she was like, Priscilla, have you put down all the prayer topics and everything? And I'm like, yeah, I'm still on it, because I had still not put down anything, because I still didn't know whatever was gonna happen. I still didn't have anything in mind, you know. My mind was just blank. But the thing is that I was trusting God to just walk me through it, because he asked me to do it, you know. So it means he has something in mind. So so the Monday evening, after talking to my mom, I just put my phone on airplane mode, and my tablet, like everything was just shut off. It was kind of like I was shut out, you know, of the world, and I wasn't in contact with anybody. And that Monday night, something happened. So I was on my bed and I was just praying about the time I was gonna spend with God from Tuesday to the following Tuesday. And I had an attack. The attack was very serious, you know, this spiritual attack thingy. And after praying against the attack and then going through it, I felt like, wow, it means the devil knows what's gonna happen to me after the waiting period, and the devil knows what I'm gonna get from God after. And you know, so it made me feel that the devil knows how important it is, so he just wanted to stop me. After the attack, I felt even more excited about Tuesday. You know, I couldn't wait for it to start. So on Tuesday, you know, I woke up at dawn, 4 a.m. I did my usual quiet time. I prayed and everything, and I told God, okay, so God, this is it. And this is the first time that I have actually like gone to a place without my phone, and without checking on my phone after waking up, and checking on Facebook, checking on WhatsApp and everything. And it was just like God and I. So after doing my quiet time, it was just like I was just waiting, just like that. And whilst I was sitting there, you know, thinking about it, the Holy Spirit led me to start one of the preaching videos, which was Intimacy with God by Benny Hinn. So the day one, I learned about intimacy with God, and during that period, you know, watching that preaching video, watching Benny Hinn teach about intimacy with God, it actually opened my eyes to certain things about God I didn't know, you know, some certain realms in prayer that I didn't even really know about, you know. And it made me like so naked before God, and it made me feel this kind of like special connection that I never had. And it actually brought God closer to me, because I began to understand so many things about his nature and all that. And the intimacy with God was like part 1, part 2, part 3, I think part 4. But I watched the part 1, and after that I went on to study about waiting on God. And the waiting on God was another preaching video that I got from one of the preachers. And right after that I watched another preaching video about the anointing making a difference in our lives by Genesis and Franklin. And it went on and on like that, so after watching all that, and after every preaching video, I prayed about it. Everything I learned. And the more that I prayed, the more I began to have this special connection with God. And I felt the presence of God just come into my room like that. And every time I open my mouth, it's like God was just there with me, listening to me and just talking to me and communicating with me in ways that I could never imagine.